Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video on the Nathan's Numbers YouTube channel. Today we'll be following on with yesterday's lesson where we introduced surds, just as a quick recap topic. Today we'll be rationalising the denominator, which is all a big part of the surds topic. And if you do higher, because this is a higher only video, it's very important that you know how to do this because this does come up quite a lot in exams. Now there's two main parts of rationalising the denominator that you need to be aware of. First one is a lot easier than the second. So we'll start with the first one. So the first one is where you've just got a surd on the bottom. So I guess I should probably start by explaining what it means when you rationalise the denominator. So when you've got a fraction, let's say for example you've got 1 over the square root of 2. What that means is that that's irrational because the surd's irrational because that's what a surd is, and we don't like having fractions where we've got surds on the denominator. It's fine to have them on the numerator, which is the top one. That's totally fine to have it on the top. We just can't be having it on the bottom because it doesn't look nice, and mathematicians think it looks ugly, right? That's not the actual reason, but it's just a fun one to remember it by in your exam. So the way we get rid of it is you can multiply it by itself. So for example, this one here, we've got 1 over root 2. If we times it by root 2, remember what you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. So you times that by root 2 as well. 1 times root 2, so you get root 2 on the top. Once again, that's fine to have a surd on the top, totally fine. And on the bottom, you've got root 2 times root 2, which is root 4. Root 4 which is just 2. So obviously root 2 times root 2, just write it out, is root 4, and root 4 equals 2. So you've got root 2 over 2, and that's fine. That's now rational. So that's your first scenario, and I'll just give you a practice question. So, have a go at 1 over root 3, that's 3, 1 over root 3, and 2 over root 5. Pause the video and have a go at both of these. So for this one, you would have got root 3 over root 3 times root 3, which is root 9, which is just 3. That's that rationalised. And this one, I'll just walk through this one because this one's a little trickier. So 2 over root 5 times it by root 5 over root 5. So you've got 2 root 5 because you do 2 times root 5 to get 2 root 5. Remember from the last lesson where I said a times b, you can write as ab. So that is 2 times root 5, but you can just write it as ab. Or not ab, right, it's 2 root 5. If you write ab, then you'll get it wrong. And root 5 times root 5, which is root 25, which is just 5. So that's that rationalised. We no longer have a surd on the denominator, therefore it's rational. And then the second part of rationalising the denominator, which is a lot more tricky, is when you've got a number on there. So let's say, for example, I've got 1 over 2 plus root 3. Now rationalising this is a little bit more tricky because we've got this integer here. So the way we do it, we can't just times it all by root 3 because that won't work. What we've got to do is we've got to times it by itself here, but change the sign around. So if I've got 1 over 2 plus root 3, I'd have to times it by 2 minus root 3. And obviously what you do to the bottom, you must do to the top. That's just the way that that works. When you look at it like that, and you have that plus sign there, this sign here has to be a minus. If it was the other way around, and I had 1 over 2 minus root 3, I'd times it by 2 plus root 3. It stays the same. We've still got the 2, we've still got the root 3, but the sign changes. So it's plus root 3, we've got minus root 3. Okay? And obviously, when we do that, I'm just going to create some space. So I've got 1 over 2 plus root 3 times 2 minus root 3 over 2 minus root 3. You might want to take it quite slowly when you expand these brackets. So I'm just going to walk through the bracket expansion as well. So we've got 2 times 2, which gives us 4. 2 times minus root 3, which is minus 2 root 3. 2 times root 3, which is 2 root 3. And root 3 times minus root 3, which is minus root 9, which is just minus 3. Now, do you see now how when we do this, we've got 4 minus 3 first of all, which is 1, minus 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3. Now, these two cancel out, and that is why we multiply by the number, the same thing. So the 2 plus root 3, 2 minus root 3, but we just change the sign because it cancels that stuff out, so we're just left with 1. So now we rewrite it as 2 minus root 3 over 1, and that is the denominator rationalised. So hopefully that's made sense. That is quite a tricky topic, but obviously it's just a glance video at it. If you need more practice, plenty of stuff on the internet. Just leave a comment if you want me to find you some worksheets to do on it. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.